6 o'clock. Gary will be here if he's here. Can we have a roll call, please? Jessica, thank you.
Amy Pyle,
Here.
Gary's on his way, Tom Caffrey,
Here.
Helen Humphrey, William,
Here.
Vernon here, and Laura.
Here.
And
There she
Timothy.
is. Oh, there they are.
There they are.
Just say here.
Timothy. Everybody's
Gary and
present today.
Do Gary and Helen again. Here. Okay, and we can all stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to the approval of the minutes. If everybody got a chance to read the minutes, I'll take a motion to approve.
Second.
No, someone needs to make a motion.
Motion. There you go.
Second? Any discussion? No? All in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
I should say welcome to the Beachside Redevelopment Board for January 14th, 2026. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
It's already been a pretty exciting year in the Main Street area. I feel like there's been a lot going on. So we have our first agenda item is a graphic, 500 Main Street wall graphic. Do we get a little presentation on that? I think we all have seen it, probably. Lovely. Of course, it's a lovely graphic.
Good evening, Angela Armstrong, Project Manager, Main Street and South Atlantic CRA. This is an after the fact. You've all seen the mural. It's a beautiful mural, but we just need your approval for the graphic, the artwork. So I provide you with a memo, and the request is for this board to approve the wall graphic located at 500 Main Street. The applicant already completed the mural, however, the intent is to dedicate the artwork as a public art pursuant to an art funding agreement to be approved by City Commission. Therefore, the approval of this board is required before we present it to the commission meeting, to the City Commission. Do you have any question?
No, I actually love it, and I think we should do more of this kind of stuff. It really beautifies our city nicely. My opinion.
Anybody else? No? Okay, well, we'll take a motion to approve. Can she make the motion?
No, she can't.
I move.
She can't.
I move for her. I
Okay.
move for her.
Will's gonna move. Any second? Second? Okay, Tim? All in favor?
Aye.
Are you sure about that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I gotta tell you, that mural
It's
is
beautiful.
all over the world.
Well, put your,
In Europe.
if you want to speak,
Oh, sorry.
turn your thing.
Put my
can make your
thingy
comment.
down. Is it on?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you want to say a little bit
Just
about
that
it?
it's everywhere. Everybody is taking pictures, taking mural. I mean, it's just amazing. It's in England. It's everywhere. People are telling us. Yeah.
Chair,
Wonderful. Yeah.
we need to have public comment on this before the vote.
Oh, okay. Do we have any public comment on the mural? No? Okay. Sorry, Gareth.
It's okay. It was actually Michelle that,
Thanks for keeping me in line, Michelle. I'm an amateur.
Could I make one comment? For those who are new at the meeting, there's actually a form that you fill out on that table. If you want to make a public comment, you can fill the form out and turn it in to the young lady in the back.
Yep. Good advice. Thanks, Will. And as a matter of fact, now we move on to the agenda item, public comment. So, Jessica, do we have any public comment?
We have Don. Don?
John's. He's already annoyed that I've like messed up the whole.
John Nicholson, 413 North Grandview Avenue. I don't know if any of you have noticed, they've been doing some work on A1A. I've been mentioning it for the last 3 years. I've found out since then there are other people that are not happy with A1A. Gary has made a comment that he's not happy with it. Tim has made a comment. I don't know if anyone else is not happy with it. The idea that we have 5 city blocks that will not have any trees on it, will only have signs. So from ISB to Seabreeze, you will have no trees, no landscaping, because it'll interfere with the signs. So all those walkways.
Are you 100% on that?
Positive, because you can't put a tree in front of a sign. So all those trees that we did have are gone. There may be a possibility that there's 2 palms that were left. They may stay because they're on the end. But like the trees that were in front of the Hilton, since they're putting in that crosswalk in the middle, they can't put anything either side of it. And then, of course, then you have in front of Polly Politis' place, they have a walkway. And the problem with that is they've added electricals. So it shrinks the walkway even further. Remember, we only had like 5 feet? So then they started to widen all the walkways up to Bel Air Plaza to a nice, almost 8 feet width. And now they're sticking in all the electricals so that it shrinks the sidewalk back again. So we're not gaining anything. So I'm asking you, when these things come up, please pay attention to them. I know that that had been years ago, they would bring it to this board. At least you would see it. They don't do that anymore. So you really, really have to find out what's going on. My neighbor came back from his work trip. First thing he said to me is, what's going on ISB? Why are they putting Christmas trees in ISB? And that's my argument. We are literally a southern city. We are a tourist town that should be touristy. It should be nice tropical landscaping. We should not be advertising that we are in Maine or Massachusetts or wherever. So when these things pop up, please pay attention. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Anybody else? Would you? Thank you. And just, come on up. Come on. Just state your name and your address when you start, and then go ahead. And we usually
Hi, everybody.
Try to stick to around 3 minutes, but
Okay. My name is Laura Wagers. I work with Evoke Aura Wellness LLC. I've come from St. Petersburg as I wanted to bring the business to both St. Pete as well as Daytona. And as you probably already know, St. Pete is not having the heart up for wellness as much as Daytona is. So I have met myself a nice challenge, which at 43 years old, and I've been doing this for over 22 years in nutrition and counsel, fitness, and anatomy physiology. I found myself a good challenge, but I also found a lot of resources here that I'd love to utilize. I wanted to come into the meeting, though, so I could address some of the things I've noticed, maybe some of the things that might be already acknowledged, but maybe could be more kind of helped with somebody else saying what they've seen. So as I've done the tour of Daytona for the last, I'd say, 5 weeks, I've really found a lot of great groups, a lot of people who are interested in bringing out more community events like we want to do. We'd like to do some events to bring women to have more freedom to do things that they don't have to be select in which they work with only men. Also bring out some, projects that would be a 10-day event and free type thing where you could do on the beaches and also outside. But what I found is a little bit of the temperament of some of the people that are in the streets have been a little bit of a concern. And sometimes some of the areas are just not as clean and well kept as I would have expected. I know that that's something that everybody has in many different towns, but in any way that we could help out, we would be thrilled to. I'm trying to bring corporate wellness programs as well as work at some fixed space aviation operations places. That's basically small airports where we bring in wealth and wellness back by bringing those pilots that are stopping for their long stop of an hour or so, an opportunity to not just have a break, but to recalibrate their system with our NASA-based technology that we're using. We're using a lot of endorsements from aviation family, like the Wright brothers that are D&D Aviation. They've endorsed us as well as NASA. And then we are working alongside of Will Patorf with a 501c3 charity, so we can also help a lot of the communities here too. But yeah, I just wanted to say hi, let you all see the face of that big old bus. I have a 32-foot Winnebago that has been wrapped in Evoke Aura Wellness. We have red light therapy. We've got technology that goes into ion foot baths and things. But what it does is it recalibrates your system, and it allows you to take a chance to restart your system and get a healthier approach. So we're doing some donations, and we'd love to know if any of your companies that are out here are interested, and we'll bond with you and do some cross promos.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you, Laura.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to Daytona. So is that it for the public comments? All right, well, we'll graciously move on to board comments. I don't remember who started us last time. I don't think you were here, so would you like to start with board comments? I know Tom's probably got some stuff to say.
She does bring up a
We'll
good
work this way.
subject that we keep on talking about, cleanliness in Daytona.
Yes.
So, and I know we're trying to address that, but we really need to apply some effort to that. Any luck with wrapping the transformers?
Yes, sir.
Oh, nice. Love to hear that.
I had it on my list.
One by one, let's check them off and get them over with.
You want me to address that now or wait?
Go for it, yeah, sure.
So, we set aside money to wrap those utility boxes. Right now, our communication department and public works are working to get our work printed, and then we have a company that has the continuous services contract with public works that is going to go out and wrap those utility boxes. So we had a meeting today with the communication department, and she said that it's a very quick turnaround. So at least you will see some wrap very soon on Main Street, ISB, and I believe there is one on A1A. Just as information for everybody, the aluminum boxes are city. The green are Florida Power Light, and the tan, TAN, are AT&T. So not all the utility boxes belongs to the city. So even though we don't own all the utility boxes, we are going to take the responsibility to wrap them all. We're going to start with city-owned utility boxes, of course, and then we are going to continue with the Florida Power Light. Now, one of the information that we have from Public Works is once we wrapped those Florida Power Light boxes, that becomes our responsibility, because if there is graffiti on it, we will have to fix it and, maintain it. But I just wanted to make it clear that not all the utility boxes belongs to the city of Daytona Beach.
Excellent,
Yes.
fantastic.
On that topic, I know it's not my turn yet, but on that topic, do you have any idea what the art is going to look like, or can we see it? I mean, obviously we're not.
Well, they haven't finished. Communication is going to provide me with the artwork, but the direction has iconic places on the beach side, the bandshell, something that is related to the beach side. And of course, I request that the Main Street CRA will be part of the name will be part of the route. And it has to be consistent with our graphic, the citywide branding. So that's the plan. We haven't received the artwork yet.
Okay. Will any of it be done before we come to our next meeting?
I don't know yet.
Oh, okay. I'd love to see it. Go ahead, Gary.
Since we're on the artwork subject, what about artwork on the pier? Yeah.
Good
Except
point.
first.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be years away.
Yeah.
Technically, you could sit there and wrap it, or you could put some kind of decoration on it.
Yeah.
In the meantime, it definitely
Yeah.
needs to be fixed. That's for sure. back to the landscaping issue that John brought up. That sounds fine and dandy. You can't leave it bare. It doesn't look appealing at all. And if that's one thing the tourists say when they come to Daytona, we lack a lot of appeal. So, and granted, you might not be able to put palm trees, you might not be able to put tall plants, you can put low-lying ones. Something that's easy to maintain should be able to work there. I'm sure if I look at other cities and they have crosswalks, I'm pretty sure they got some landscaping there. I don't know why we keep on trying to reinvent the wheel here. All right.
Okay.
Yep.
Tom?
I think I only have 2 or 3 things. So this last weekend on Sunday, we had a huge community turnout for our Pinewood Cemetery cleanup. We probably had over 200 people, probably close to 250 people show up. It was 100% donated. Nobody paid a single dime of labor or for all the heavy equipment that we had out there, for any of the trucks. We covered all of it as the historic Pinewood Cemetery. If you had to probably quantify it to a number between the hours and all of the work that was done, you're probably looking at somewhere between $90,000 and $110,000 worth of debris removal. We reset about 20 headstones. We found 3 that were underground, buried, 8-10 inches. We had people that were extremely emotional, crying. A guy couldn't find his best friend's headstone. We found it for him. He hadn't seen it since '86 when she was put in the ground. As crazy as it is, she was put there in 1986. So we found her stone. He remembered kind of where it was. It was pretty cool. The community did a really, really special thing. And all of our sponsors were amazing. And I say sponsors because we had 3 lawn crews, different companies out there. One was Terry Smith. He has been in lawn business for 37 years locally here. We had Virgil Rawlings, I believe. He has a residential lawn business. And then we also had Bernie, who is a former road motorcycle police officer. And he has a company called Cardinal. So anyway, the community was huge in this, and it was really, really special. So I want to thank everybody for that, and it was really impactful. And I can't imagine. It's very humbling. It was very humbling. Pilgrim's Rest Cemetery from Ormond Beach. They're the ones who did and coordinated all of the kind of the headstone to make sure they were done right. We had lifts, and it was crazy. Anyway.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
While you're on that
Yeah.
topic? In general, who is responsible to maintain the cemetery on a day-to-day basis? Obviously you don't wait 20 years and do a cleanup.
So it's kind of a quasi system, but the city has been for some time, I believe, doing some of the maintenance there, just kind of general maintenance to kind of keep it nice. And the organization that I'm part of now, I'm the secretary treasurer for, it's the Historic Pinewood Cemetery Association. That was founded, I think, in 2001 or in the mid-90s, somewhere around that. I have to look up the history, as crazy as I've not looked that up, I guess. But it's just been a community effort over decades and decades and decades. It's got a really rich history of philanthropy from the community, from different people. The amount of founders of this community that are in there, and business owners, and it's pretty wild. There's at least 1,700 documented graves, but I think it's closer to 1,900 after going down to Merchants Bank, which is the Halifax Historical Society. It's 5 acres of land. In one of the debris cleanouts, there was a mausoleum in the back, the northeast corner. The mausoleum was completely covered with debris around the back of it. When we removed all the debris, there's a beautiful stained glass window that somehow is fine, and it's not, it's wild. The things we started to uncover there, it's how the heck is that thing still there,
Because it got covered up.
That's the only thing we can think of. So now we've monitored it. We're keeping it clear pretty well of homeless. The city of Daytona is doing patrols back in there again for us during our hours. Our hours are 12 to 5, Monday through Sunday. We have a really good group of people that are involved now, all business owners or real community-focused people, most of which are on Main Street.
So people can find you on Facebook if they want to be involved or donate or join.
Absolutely, yeah. So under the Historic Pinewood Cemetery Association on Facebook, we're going to probably have 2 more cleanups and repairs before July 4th. We want to try to have it ready at the same time the July 4th parade is. And then the city's been kind enough to put us as a spot for their quincentennial on that for, I believe, July 26th. It's also really neat. I mean, the cemetery's 2 years older than the city of Daytona. So that's also pretty wild to think about. But it's had stewards over the years and decades. Boot Hill's done a great job. The Kingston family, one of the founding families of the city that was involved. They're almost all of them are buried in there. The last one that passed in there was G. Albert Kingston. He was philanthropic. He donated a significant portion of his wealth to the Cemetery Association back then, but it was through his trust. So there's a lot of history. I could spend hours on it, but it was awesome.
Great
You
job.
had
Does look awesome.
Did you have anything else?
Beachside community meeting. I heard there's going to be some potential community meeting, maybe with planning department or something like that. I don't know if maybe it's coming up in like 2 or 3 weeks potentially. No,
I
no
don't
idea.
have any,
Okay.
any information
Anyway,
about that.
keep your eyes out. Community meeting supposedly coming. So we'll hear about that soon, I think.
Okay, thank you. Ellen?
Nothing, everything is wonderful.
Okay, thank you. Will?
Well, I got a lot of stuff. And what I wanted to remind people is not about you or me. It's really about our community. And let's get together and just make Daytona great.
Amen.
Or greater, because it already is great because we live here. Together as a community. Regardless, this is why we're all showing up here. This is why you all are out here listening to us talk. I was excited. I had a young lady, Laura, she came out there to talk about her company. And when you get a chance to look at her company and what she could bring to Daytona, it's pretty exciting to me. So I begged her to come, and she came all the way from the West Coast just recently for this meeting. So please make sure you welcome yourself, and I appreciate everybody. Thank you.
May I say one other thing?
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Midwest Motorcycles. Heavy's our vice president, Ed Castrol. He was the driving force behind this. He and I worked arm in arm on that thing along with other people, but he really did push it real hard.
He's an exceptional person, yes.
Laura?
Hi. So actually, hopefully everything I have to say is appropriate to say. I took some time and I looked through our 1981 goals, because since I'm new, I got to look through all the paperwork. And there was something, we had talked, Ken, about larger ideas for our area, and there's a policy number 5.4.5, and it talks about a marina off of Main Street, and I wasn't sure if that was talking about the marina across Main Street or if there was ever talk of a marina on Beachside for the intercoastal highway. So that would be something that I would love to see talked about and funded or something. The idea of speed humps, I don't know if that's anything we've ever talked about on Oleander specifically. I know that bus just speeds right through, and maybe I know on the other side of ISB, those neighborhoods have little gradual speed humps that just kind of slow people down. And I didn't know if because we're around the police station, if maybe that's why they don't want them there, but love to see that be something we talk about.
That's, you'd probably want to communicate with Public Works, because I think there's a procedure for getting speed humps. The people on your street have to kind of come together and agree on it. So that's like it wouldn't be a redevelopment board or
Okay.
redevelopment area responsibilities, but contact Public Works and, you can kickstart a little,
Awesome.
the process if you want.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
Carry
that's
on.
okay.
I just wanted to-
I also wondered if there was any feedback from the Main Street meeting that we had, like in November, where we got to look at the different ideas on Main Street.
Such as?
Oh, there was like it
The
just
streetscape, Helen, the streetscape
Oh, yes,
meeting at
yes.
the Peabody there.
yeah,
Great.
yeah.
We do have a draft report from the consultant. We have our CRA workshop January 28th at 5:30. And David Waller, our public work director, he will give us an update on that project.
Sorry, I forgot one thing.
Yeah.
I forgot one thing. There was two things. Up and down, I think it's Hollywood by 1313. There's huge piles of trash.
Oh, yeah.
And I've been cleaning it up over time because people just dump out in the middle of that street. I've been cleaning it up and piling it up. And I've been calling, but nobody's ever picked it up. It's been sitting out there probably like 3 weeks. That pile has to be as taller than me by now.
Oh.
And then there's a pile on the other side of the 1313 store, the other side of my vacant lot. People just dump it on the street. I just pile it up and put it on the side of the sidewalk. But it sat there for a month.
Did you send it in to C-Click Fix yet?
No,
It's a great way to get it done.
I called it in. I go in between. I've been working so much. I'm like a one-armed paper hanger. The second thing is there's a really great news though. Forget the complaining. Let's go on something positive. My neighbors, they opened up a really nice tattoo shop next to me. I think it's called Sinister Tattoo, right? They did a real nice improvement to their building. I think it looks very nice. Nice family. I hope they're going to be successful. Really nice place. So kudos to my neighbor and my buddy. Yeah. Okay. That's it. Thank you.
I also wondered if there were any ways that we get a hold of the people in our neighborhood. Like, how do we tell them about things that are going on? Is there a way that we do that?
That really, from the city's perspective, I don't know of one. You've been coming to the neighborhood meetings, the Beachside Neighborhood Watch, so people that are interested in the area generally will come to those meetings to interface with the code enforcement and the police. As far as communicating, starting the group like you did is probably the best way. And if you, there's a group on Facebook now for our smaller neighborhood within the Beachside area. If that's what you're talking about, you might consider getting a group of people together for a little bit of a donation and get some door hangers. Maybe people, if you could kind of door hang and say, join our group. Probably, that's what I would suggest.
Well, I know that B&W did a postcard campaign, and I just wasn't sure if there's a way. The C-Click Fix is the best way to get that low-hanging fruit and complain 3 times a week that there's trash on the road, and they'll eventually do something. So I guess I can also say there's a Facebook group for the Surfside Village neighborhood, and to kind of get that community. I'd love to have the Main Street people a part of that.
Thank you.
So I'll look into door hangers for sure. And then I don't know if this is appropriate, but a longtime resident passed yesterday, and so rest in peace, Johnny.
Oh no.
What was his name?
Johnny what?
Oh,
Johnny Ellis?
Johnny Ellis
Are you serious?
went to high school with me.
Madam Chair,
That was the dad. This was the son.
Oh,
Oh.
my goodness.
before we move on, I would like to address 2 things.
Sure.
The first, you referred to the policy, one of the policies on our Main Street redevelopment plan. That policy, if I remember correctly, says that we will create strategies to help develop a marina and a hotel in the Halifax art. So we create the strategy. It's not the city that is going to build the marina. Is that if that the policy
It
or?
says construct a marina park on the Halifax River adjacent to the Main Street with riverfront trail and
Okay.
underpass under the Main Street Bridge.
Yeah, we don't have any plans right now to construct a marina. We will incentivize if we have to, but right now we are not. We don't have that project on our pipeline. It's not out of the question, but right now it's not something that we are seeking. And the second thing about how we communicate with residents, as a city concern, we have our communication department, we have the water bill insert. Thank you. And we have a Facebook, we have Instagrams. Normally, all our public meetings are advertised that way. Also, this is a public set that we normally use to let residents and business owners know what's going on. And the planning meeting that Mr. Caffrey was referring to was the workshop. Yeah, I thought it was planning department. So that's why I said I don't have any information.
Yeah, no, and I said it wrong too, so.
Okay.
No problem.
Oh, yes, Helen?
A number of years ago, the city, we have a park right south of Main Street on the river. Now there's a gate across it, a metal gate. The idea was that a father and son or whoever in the family could go there and launch their canoe or whatever, and eventually they would go across the river to Beach Street, and there would be areas there where they were hoping to put some kind of boats, rowboats or canoes. And I don't know what happened about that.
Yeah, we're still on. We've been in communication with some developers and people that are interested in develop the property, but right now we only have 1 acre.
Yes.
And it's kind of complicated to do a project.
Yes.
One of the developers mentioned to have a marina and mixed use, but it's too small. It's just it's less than 1 acre, I believe. So,
Yes. But the whole idea was that just local folks, as they're building all along the river, there would not be access. Somebody that just wants to go with their kid down there and launch a rowboat out into the river, that would be a place where it wouldn't have any building on it, no amenities, but now there's a metal fence there, so you can't even get there.
yeah, we'll see.
While I'm on whatever happened to the kiosk? Is that still
Well,
alive?
It is. I've mentioned before that we can't do anything with the kiosk right now because we have plans for our Main Street streetscape,
Okay.
and that will be part of that. If I do construction and utility now, it will be a waste because
Sure. Okay. I just lost track within my
It's
mind
okay.
when it happened. Yeah.
30 years.
So, were you finished, Laura? Yes. Okay, all right. Tim? Nothing? No, I'm good. Okay. So, in light of what, the marina, this thing that you have in front of you is something I asked Angela. Thank you very much. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I go into Google Maps and kind of try to circle city properties, but this shows everything that the city owns, so you can kind of get an idea, and it helps us to understand what they're doing as far as from a planning standpoint. Like, for example, we own that number 25 down there just south of Main Street. We own that, but is that the one you were saying is not big enough?
Yes.
Right. Right. So if they could somehow attain, get either a partnership or some way to get the area, that parking lot between Main Street and that, I'm sure, marina and all the boat
Yeah.
launching and everything would be great. But,
Could you-
but right now, we're kind of limited.
Yes.
Could you send me that information on that lot? It interests me. The marina actually interests me.
Yeah, definitely. I'll send it to you.
Yes, please.
Which, looking at that, it could be, if it were just a small park where you could launch canoes,
Yeah,
there might be enough space for that. I don't know if, a
At the
smaller,
time.
a less grand,
Well,
Yeah.
the issue they have with that is that when the developer comes in, it's not the city developing, and this is what Angela's, she's probably, don't hold me to this. But when a developer comes in, they're going to come in and say, well, what are they going to get out of it when they sink their money into it? And it's hard for them to do that with the acre. But what we're going to do is we're going to be tactful. I want to get the information. I'm looking to see how maybe I could pick up a piece or something.
Okay.
We'll see how it works.
So I don't know if anyone has any, anything they want to zoom in on that. It kind of shows what we own and what they're working on. And there's some residential lots and some commercial and some parking and just kind of food for thought maybe for the next meeting. One of the things that I wanted to mention publicly is that I've been on the Bike Week and Biketoberfest task force for many years. I don't know, at least 5 or 6 years. I can't, let's see, it's been 6 years since I ran for office, so it was even before that, maybe 8 or 9.
Thank you for your service.
I don't know. And I'm gonna resign this year, so there'll be, there's always been. Let me back up for a second. The city has an agreement with the Chamber of Commerce about Bike Week and with the CVB for Biketoberfest that there's a task force which is essentially like it's a board. And there's supposed to be representatives on there that represent the neighborhoods that are impacted by Bike Week and Biketoberfest. And for the most of the time that I've been on there, I was the only one that was strictly a resident and not an owner of a business that was participating in Bike Week. So I kind of came with a different perspective. And I tried to look at things like, I wasn't really all that concerned with fees and things, but it was more like, what happens after the event, or how the area is treated the other 50 weeks of the year, I'd call it. So I worked on that, and now I'm done. So if anybody out there is thinking about becoming involved on a board, I'd encourage, and if you're interested in Bike Week or either promoting Bike Week or helping the area, I totally support Bike Week and Biketoberfest. And I want them to succeed, but I also live right there, so when the event is gone, I see what the area looks like, and I've advocated for improving things, for sort of using the event and the success of the event and the money that people can make in the event to encourage them to maintain their properties the rest of the year. And I feel like there is pressure that the city could put on participants that they're not. And I was a little disappointed with the rewrite of the guidelines that didn't really include some of the stuff that I'd hoped to see in there. Not saying that can't happen in the future, because I'm going to go at it from a different tack now. Never mind the task force, but I'm trying to get the city to consider either LDC changes for maintenance of properties, and how to handle parking and signage and how they look the rest of the year. Because there's some really big properties that are only used during biker events, and the rest of the year they kind of just sit there, and they could be activated as parking, or they could be cleaned up and look a little nicer. I think there's improvement. There's low-hanging fruit. There's big improvements. And there's just some gradual things that we'd like to see. So next week at the CRA meeting, before the city commission meeting on Wednesday night at 6, I know I've been asked to present our recommendations as, it'll be an agenda item, right, that I'll get to.
It will be a presentation.
A presentation, so I get up and read those recommendations that we put together over the last months, and I don't have them in front of me, but I think I read them off at the last meeting, but I'm going to officially deliver those to the city commission. But also during public comment, I'm going to get up and I'm going to talk about the keeping. So I'll just read this little paragraph. So I believe keeping a lot vacant with the intention of using it for parking should be regarded as a business. And licensed as such, which would have standards and maintenance requirements instead of just periodic permits.
Amen.
So this would encourage improvement and our development. I'll be speaking to the CRA board next week with my suggestions to address the situation. So it's not a matter of what happens during Bike Week. It's it's a matter of what happens the rest of the time. So I'm hoping to have a little movement on that, and that it would benefit the area. So there's that, and then another item I want to mention is, and we've talked about this before, about 146 and 148, the townhomes on South Grandview have a lot that has, it's a double lot, and I'm just going to keep saying this, that I believe that the vacant lot should be separated from the building and allowed to be built on. It could be you could split the property and sell it as a buildable lot. It's small, but there's ways of figuring out how to build on a small lot, and it leaves that, the big smile with the one tooth missing, you kind of avoid that situation there. So I'm going to also mention that at the CRA meeting next week. And then also, Grandview is getting a new water main, so it's all dug up, and it's messy, but I'm excited to see it. So I just want to thank Public Works for getting that going, and whoever's working on that. But that's the end of my comments, unless anybody else has anything else. Last minute? No?
Other than I appreciate everybody on the board and everybody that showed up here today.
Okay. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.
Daytona, how are you? We're so glad that you can come out and join us at Daytona Beach Community Tennis Association Incorporated. I'm Mary McCoy.
And I'm Jerome McCoy.
And we have a program that is run strictly on volunteers. And we are so happy to have all our volunteers that are here with us and all the young people that are here.